Listen to them out sometimes.
They do.
I made them like that.
You want to do a quick audio check with that? Jesus. Jesus. Welcome. Hold on. Welcome to Shop Talk by Featured Garage. Today, our co-host is Vape Jesus. Fuck Eric. Eric is still banned from the show. Fuck you piece of shit. Fuck you. Welcome to another episode of Shop Talk. This one's gonna be a little interesting because I don't have a script. There are no notes on this one. Vape Jesus and I were just hanging out in the living room, chatting it up about some current events that have been going on, and figured why not let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So we're gonna talk about it. I should get my phone. So I'm gonna get that real quick because I got some. I'm gonna get that.
Well, keep going, right? So that's one of a quick reminder to don't forget the restrictions update.
What the fuck? All right, I'm back. I just had some comments on there. So what are we gonna talk about today? I think the subject would be called. Kind of called internet censorship. I know that's kind of harsh based on what we're gonna be talking about, but basically, we'll get straight into it. So a little while ago, I'll post a picture of my little Facebook post about it. I made a post that said I've been banned from the Cars and Coffee pages in my area. Which, if you don't know where my area is, it's Northwest Florida. So we have primarily Northwest Emerald Coast Cars and Coffee. And Pensacola Cars and Coffee. There's Panama City Beach, but I don't get it. Maybe the Panama City people go to that. Nobody cares about them. I'm kidding, guys, but I've never been. Vape Jesus, everybody. All right. Now, it's interesting because I don't really say, I don't go in and troll stuff. I don't just make jackass posts and comments. And, if there's something to be said, then I'll say it. If you're being a tool, I'll usually say something, or if there's something cool that you're doing, I'll say something. But for the most part, I don't go in and troll stuff. Now that's up to interpretation based on the original poster. But basically, years ago, Pensacola Cars and Coffee. It was interesting. I actually got banned from that page because I agreed with somebody's comment. Honestly, I just don't remember the full story, the backstory. But I agreed with somebody's post. By posting a picture of Morgan Freeman. He's like you, but, Morgan Freeman. So I posted a picture of him, and it said, he's right, and that got me booted. Which I guess that could be perceived as kind of trolly. But Emerald Coast Cars and Coffee, which is interesting because I started that. I started Cars and Coffee as we know it in Fort Walton Beach, the modern Fort Walton Beach Cars and Coffee. They might be some old Cars and Coffee way back in the day, but as we know it today, I started that. And I turned it over to somebody else. Because I don't want to herd cats on Facebook. That shit sucks. Especially when you have a Facebook page, with a whole bunch of users, a community that has gripes and complaints. I don't want to deal with that. So, without naming names, we'll leave names out of it, but we'll keep the group pages listed. Without naming names, the owner of it, him and I got into I think another debate. We do that because honestly, I think he's a tool, man. And that's the only reason why I ever say anything against his post, because he is heading a pretty large group and he's fucking it up. He is controlling a Facebook page and is not he's doing nothing with it. He's now I wouldn't say leading, but corralling all these cats, getting all these people together to do car things, which, I guess you could just say, oh, Cars and Coffee. Well, that's just hard parking in a parking lot. And, well, I mean, it is, but more so it's community interaction. Right? So it's not, it kind of goes beyond just people getting together in a parking lot, because if you do it right, you can be a real part of the community, not the car community, but the community. And I know Pensacola Cars and Coffee is kind of doing it right. I wouldn't know currently because I've been paying for years, but at least, what is it, like at the end of the year for December, they do some sort of like Toys for Tots, that's what it's called. They do this annual toy drive so it gets people to come out and, you bring toys, you donate things, and, now you're in at a car show, and it's a cool, like, get together for automotive enthusiasts, but it also does something for the community, and that's something that's lacking in the Emerald Coast Cars and Coffee, the Fort Walton Beach, Florida Cars and Coffee. So I'm banned from both of those pages now. The Emerald Coast Cars and Coffee page I got banned from because, like I mentioned earlier, the owner of it, the moderator of it, and I got into an argument. Not to sound conceited, but I won that argument. I feel like I made good, valid points, to which all he could do was, he sounded kind of like a child. Now, I have no screenshots of anything. I don't either, but I do remember on multiple occasions he brought up dicks, assholes, and money.
Oh, yeah.
Literally those three things.
You make valid points.
Yeah.
Something about measuring dicks.
Right. Measuring dick sizes and stuff. Now, again, this entire everything, what I'm saying right now is irrelevant because I have no screenshots. There's nothing, because he deleted the entire thread. But it was interesting because at one point, it was so childish. I think this guy, what is he, in his 50s or something like that? It's this older gentleman. It's this older man. He's saying, well, if you don't like the way things are going, I can just shut it down right now. I'm like, that's not the point. Like, I don't want you to shut down Cars and Coffee. Additionally, you can't shut down Cars and Coffee. Cars and Coffee is a community effort. Nobody needs you to be there. Yeah. Yeah, people will congregate. They don't need you, owner of Emerald Coast Cars and Coffee. People will just do things. People will get together. So one, that's irrelevant, and two, that's not the point of me arguing with you. The point is, I want you to stop being a tool. All right, because every post that he makes, it's and I mentioned this, and this was one of the things that kind of struck a chord with him, is all of his posts are just something that he quantifies. And what I mean by that is every milestone that he hits that the page hits with how many members are in the page, he makes this arbitrary celebratory post. Wow, we just hit 400 members. Wow, we hit 1,000 members. Oh my God. And then he'll make this weird, like, I don't want to say backstabbing, but sort of just like, he'll say something to the tune of like, oh, if only 10% of the people in this Facebook page showed up to the meets. But then what? What happens? Who cares? And that was my point. That's what got me kicked out of that page, is because I asked, what does it matter? Because you're not doing anything with any of this. You have, what's that? It's just a number, and that's all he gives a shit about. So I made that point, and I got booted. Now, speaking of numbers, and speaking of people getting booted, I don't think he will mind if I say his name. And if he does, I'm super sorry. Blake Barr of 850 Fabrication. I think that's a pretty cool plug. You get free advertisement here for the 30 people that watch this. Yep. But anyway, so let's, I'm going to pull this up while I scroll through my Facebook, we'll go to a commercial break.
This is the Triumph TR6. And now we'd like to demonstrate what we British feel is the best way to use the TR6's new 5 miles per hour impact safety bumpers. In England, we strive to miss a wall.
Thanks, Triumph. That was super cool. So, getting back into it, Blake Barr, 850 Fabrication. First off, that dude makes fucking art. If you've never checked out the stuff, he doesn't know that we're doing this. And again, I hope it's okay that we plug his name in here. But he is making some fantastic products in the realm of fabrication, automotive fabrication. Check him out, 850 Fabrication on the Face Spaces. So he chimed in on this little thread that I had going, and it was interesting because I could relate to this. He said the moderator of Emerald Coast Cars and Coffee, messaged me a while back with an asshole comment about, why do you feel the need to constantly post about your shop? Now, a backstory, what Blake means by this is in these Cars and Coffee pages, and this one specifically, he will post updates on what he's doing, some of the products that he's making, et cetera, which is totally valid. It's a guy fabricating automotive things, sharing it into an automotive page.
It's not just some random guy that's just does. He's actually really, really good at what he does.
Oh yeah, he is.
He does tons of titanium work, and it's all done impeccably. It looks perfect. It's really top-notch work.
Yeah, it is. Now, and so again, like he's not just some guy, right? But I guess the moderator decided he was posting too frequently. Now, as a small business owner, I get that because back when I was allowed in Pensacola Cars and Coffee, I would try to advertise selling photography, which I was not allowed to do. We couldn't do it. Feature Garage could not post ads for photography because you weren't allowed to post ads, which is completely fucking insane. Like, how do you, as a small business owner, promote yourself and gain an audience if your audience you're being banned from promoting there? That's insane. Now, I do understand as a moderator of these large, thousands of people pages regulating ads. I totally get that because we talked about this earlier. You'll have, and I see it all the time, detailing. That's a big one. All kinds of just jack-offs, like getting into detailing. Like, oh, for $40, I'll come by and wipe your car with sandpaper or whatever, like, and I'm not trying to, I'm knocking a lot of detail, but like the bona fide detailers out there that are making, like, this is their life, this has been their business for years, they're licensed and they're good at what they do. I totally get that. I get them advertising things, but when it's a free-for-all, then the pages do get cluttered, and now users coming to the page just get inundated with all these fucking shitty ads, and I get that. So instead of banning or just sending people shitty comments or messages, why not corral all the small business owners, right? And create certain days where certain types of businesses can promote. You could do some sort of detailing Tuesday, fabrication Friday, stuff like that, because it's like you can liken it to airtime on television, right? You purchase your time slot. That's when your commercials. I'm not saying purchase stuff on these Facebook pages. That's stupid. But like, set aside time for, there's a time and a place for everything, right? So create a time for it. So instead of just shutting everyone down, like I have been, now that I've been banned from multiple Cars and Coffee pages, engage your community, right? So if you have a problem with your advertisers, engage them and come up with a solution. If you have a problem with your criticizers, engage them. Don't just kick them out. So, So, with all this said, I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people out there that see this video or listen to the podcast and think, oh, he's just mad because he can't post in a Facebook group. And that's kind of the point. Because we see this in politics now too. There are politicians who will block constituents from viewing their social media, Facebook, Twitter, or even posting to it. Because the issue is when that politician views something as criticism and they don't like it, they will just shut that person down. They'll block them, which... Thanks, Obama. Obama did 9/11. That's a real problem because, look, the criticism isn't inherently bad, right? If you should, like, you can go to featuregarage.com and look at some of the comments on some of the posts. Like, dude, you can post whatever you want. If you have a legitimate criticism, you can post it. Let's engage. Let's start a debate here and let's talk about stuff to make something better. Not get upset because you don't like the way that someone is criticizing you and then completely shun them, ban them, shut them down, and now they're gone. Now you don't change. You don't get better. You just remain and there are people out there that recognize the issues. There are. So it's just a matter of time until you fall, I guess. I guess we don't have any notes for the show.
Yeah.
So now what do we talk about? Oh, dude.
What?
We're talking about Facebook groups, right?
Oh, we are talking about Facebook.
There's some other Facebook groups.
Okay.
Right? That not the same subject of people getting banned and stuff, but man, some of the motorcycle groups in this area, holy shit.
Almost all of them.
Yeah, I haven't found a good one yet.
Yeah, there's some that are better than others, but all of them are pretty much full of people that are kind of dumb.
So, and that's what social media is.
Yeah.
It's a stage where everyone gets to perform, but not everybody should. And, you know, with big pages, with groups, motorcycle pages, it's, you know, you have like the OGs, so to say, that started it or have just been there since day one or whatever. And they're kind of running the show, not because they should, they just do. They are. Like they end up being the voice. And you see a lot of fucking jackassery. One of the local motorcycle pages here, it's comprised mostly of sport bike riders, I think. There is like a diverse group in there, but it is mostly sport bike riders just making fucking jackass posts. You know, and it's usually something to the tune of fuck the police because they did something wrong and now they're being held accountable for it. You know, and then they'll post the ticket of what they did and then bitch about it, and then you read the ticket and what they've been cited for, and it's like, no, dude, you fucked up. Eat it and move on. You know, or the people that'll talk about running from the cops.
Yeah.
Like, really, you're going to turn that little traffic stop into just something small and localized that you just pay off into now a federal offense.
Yeah.
Oh, you're cool. That's pretty cool. Just fucking stop being a dick. Vape Jesus and I went out to do some photography last night. Picture here. And on our way home, we're in downtown Fort Walton, and we come across two sport bike riders. I don't know. It's dark. I don't know. Some sport bikes. And they're just fucking rev bombing. Just fucking like, oh, that's sweet, dude. That was cool. Do it. Don't do it again. Fucking stop that shit. It doesn't really sound that good. Like, I mean, it's an inline 4-cylinder engine. It kind of sounds obnoxious. And it sounds obnoxious when you're just fucking rev bombing it downtown somewhere. Like, nobody wants to hear that. Like, there's a time and a place for it, and it's usually.
Honestly, isn't a time and a place for rev bombing.
I was going to say on a track, not rev bombing, but like, you know, when you've got an engine just screaming wide open throttle, red bomb, like that's
throttle, like, getting on it.
under load.
Acceptable.
Yeah,
Just like clutch in rev bombing.
it's not good. Quit it. Stop it.
Obnoxious. Everybody looks at you like you're fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And you can even get a ticket for it.
You can.
And then cops will see you doing that.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be more inclined to give other motorcycle riders tickets that don't do dumb shit.
Yeah.
Just because you're a jackass.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but I mean, it's and we can talk about this all day long. And again, I know there are people that are gonna see or hear this and be like, "Oh, they're just mad," and those are the same people that are just gonna continue to do it because they can't swallow the pride, realize that they're wrong, and stop fucking being a jackass, giving motorcycle riders a bad name. And more times than not, I also notice, just in like social interactions, that the same person that says some shit like "look twice for motorcycles," you know, loud pipe save lives, all that shit, it's the same person that's being a fucking jackass.
you're like, press polio or I'm going to fucking run.
Yeah.
Like,
No, the point is, you know, stay alert, stay alive, be aware. Don't be a fucking jackass on the street in traffic. You know, be respectable, man. So this, I don't know, man. I need some notes here because this podcast is getting way too bitchy.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like it was the entire point of this one anyways.
yeah,
But, yeah, like most people, like you were saying, they're like, loud pipe save lives, or look twice for motorcyclists, all that jazz. The funny thing is that most motorcycle fatalities are one vehicle accidents. Like them being a dumbass. You know, like them going fucking 90.
you know, and I think that's a really good point. I don't know if you or I could like back that right now, but I feel like that's something we should. Fuck, man, we should have like planned this show because if we had some, you got to, smartphones. See if you can pull up some information. Yeah, see if you can pull up something on that to see how true that statement is. And while he does that, I'm going to pull up some notes too. We're going to go to another quick commercial break because I have no fucking idea how much time is running on these cameras. So we'll do that.
Honda has front-wheel drive, rack and pinion steering, and gets up to 30 miles to a gallon of gas. The Apple doesn't. The Honda has room for 4 adults. The Apple, 2, maybe 3 worms, tops.
Thanks, Honda. That was really informative. So, we've got some facts pulled up now. Real quantifiable data. So we're not just a couple of jackasses on some talk show making points that aren't real. Like, this is real shit. So as far as motorcycle fatalities go, what kind of data have you been able to pull up on your smartphones?
Basically, these are statistics from 2013.
Okay.
Total single vehicle fatalities that are motorcycles, it's 1,900 in 2013. And then multiple vehicle is 2,500. So roughly, I don't know, was that like 40%?
Probably something like that.
Motorcycle fatalities are single vehicle accidents.
Right.
And also, 40% of single vehicle motorcycle fatalities are with the rider having a blood alcohol content of 0.08 or above.
Okay.
And that kind of ties into some of the stuff I see around here. Because a lot of the local motorcycle groups, like, their thing to do is to ride into town to, like, a bar or something, like a club or something like that, and, like, drink. And then they ride home. Like, even on a motorcycle, alcohol affects you a lot more than it does in a car. You can drink, like, one beer and you can drive a car and be pretty fine. But
Yeah.
if you drink one beer and get on a bike, like, you'll notice a difference. Like, walking around, like, oh, I'm fine, I'm totally normal. You get on a bike and you're like, holy shit, you will feel it. Because you know, you're riding a bike, trying to balance, and a lot more stuff going on.
Yep. Yeah, you absolutely rely on those fine motor skills, especially at lower speeds.
Yeah.
And negotiating traffic. So, you know, you go out, you do fucking whatever poker on bike club. I don't know because I don't do any of this shit. You know, you hop around from bar to bar on your bike and do stuff. Like, you're just asking for some trouble. And, like, more times than not, whenever I see, like, these little get-togethers and stuff, man, I sound like such an old fucking prude. But I see the pictures of it, and it's like all these people that, like, don't have shit for gear.
Yeah.
They might have a helmet. And that's it.
Most people have a helmet, they'll be wearing, like, a t-shirt and jeans or
Yeah.
shorts.
And not only that, but, like, you know, once you got a few in you, that helmet ain't going to do shit for you because now you're ballsy. You know, you're going to go for it. You got to show out, you know, let everyone know what your bike sounds like under load and, you know, going through traffic and do some jackass shit, you know, 11, 12 o'clock at night to prove a point. Whatever. So what are we talking about now? We're just bitching about bike groups. Yeah. I guess that's the end of the bitch session.
We could do,
Questions and comments, dude. Questions and comments.
Last video, we had a question that basically asked, does Zach sit down when he pees?
Does Zach sit down when he pees?
With a long answer. And
We could call him real quick.
we could.
We're gonna phone a friend. I saw it.
You don't get to do that when you call me.
Oh. Hey, welcome to Shop Talk. You're on the show. So, Zach, we have a question for you from our audience.
What?
Do you sit when you pee?
Occasionally?
Okay, there you have it, everyone. From the horse's mouth. Occasionally, Zach, he fucking said he sit. Why would you do that? Okay, so if you have any questions or comments for us at Shop Talk, for Vape Jesus, for Zach, for Casey, for myself, comment down below. If you are listening to this on the podcast, you can email us at theguys@futuregarage.com. You can also hit us up on the Facebook page, Future Garage. You can make a video. You can send it to us that way. You can do whatever the fuck you want, and we will feature it on the show. Don't forget to send Zach dick pics. His Instagram account is Zach Needs Instagram. Zach Grant, his Facebook account, if you want to send him dick pics that way. So send all the dick pics. Yeah. Mail him dicks. His, I don't. What law is that? That against sending dicks in the mail. I got a potato in the mail. That was pretty cool. Yeah. So that's it for this episode of Shop Talk. I think. Yeah. Okay. Boom, bitch.
Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way.